All right, let's see. Setting up your webinar on Facebook Live. All right, it's like, okay, redirecting. All right, let's see if it is ready. Uh-oh, I think I see us.
Good, 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 good.
Hey. All right, so let me set up my phone so that I can get the questions from people. And then let's see. Hopefully the video is showing up there. Okay, yes, it is. All right. We got one person on right now. So, hey, let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. We are talking today about dealership funding with microloans. And I want to introduce you to someone I recently met who I just think is really awesome. So, hopefully, you find her information to be helpful. Her name is Melinda, and I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, so Melinda Sykes, I am a small business owner like many of y'all are. And I left corporate America about 3 or 4 years ago, started my own business. I initially went into the salon industry, and I've been doing that for 3 or 4 years. But now I've kind of rolled into a few other businesses like, credit repair and the financial services industry. I've got an online course. So, I just kind of caught the entrepreneurial bug. But most importantly, I'm really, really excited to really deep dive into financial information that's super, super helpful for a small business owner. So,
All right, a true entrepreneur. What's up, Joe in SoCal? And I did not introduce myself. We have quite a few new members in the group. I'm Shamel, and I founded the Auto Dealer Business School because I wanted auto dealers to learn from my mistakes. When I just jumped out there and I made a lot of mistakes and it hurt a lot and I lost a lot of money. And I decided to start the Auto Dealer Business School so that you would not lose a lot of money. You would actually gain and reach your financial goals of building generational wealth, because I know that's what you guys are about. And I know you're about your business. So let's get to getting you some funding for your business. Good morning, Dre. Good morning, Sean. Yes, good morning, CEOs, right? All right. So, what are microloans first?
yes. So, microloans are specifically small business loans for typically up to $50,000. They are administered by a couple of different avenues. So the SBA definitely has a program for, a way to administer these small business loans. And there's also some other avenues like a local chamber of commerce that can supply these as well. But they are specifically for small businesses and some like non-for-profit childcare centers and things like that. These loans are typically for the use of like working capital, inventory, equipment, and furniture and fixtures. So if you are either going into business, you can secure a microloan if you haven't started your business just yet, and you need that startup capital. But it's also for business owners that have been in business a little while and need to be able to expand or push forward with their business and need those funds. So if you're not looking for a whole bunch of money, something more than $50,000, a microloan is really ideal for that use.
Okay, and $50,000 could really get your dealership up and going. $50,000, if you're not already licensed, can fund the licensing process, can fund, your inventory at least 10 to 20 cars. And then also it could fund your professional development or education in the auto dealer basics program. So $50,000 is like, all right, that's a good amount. Okay.
Number for a lot of us that no matter the industry, but I definitely think it's applicable to auto dealers for sure.
Okay, so when I hear about loans, my first question is like, how hard is it to get? Like, what all they want from me? And is it gonna take like a million years? Like, so tell me, what's the process like?
Yeah, so the process, I mean, it's a process, right? So the best advice I can give you when it comes to trying to secure a microloan is to be prepared, right? So have your ducks in a row so it makes the lender's job a lot easier than having to chase you down for different documents. That's the hardest part, is really just gathering the documents that you need in order to make it a smooth process. So I'll give you some examples or some items I know for sure that you need.
Okay.
Make the process easy. So you're definitely going to need an EIN number. You're going to need to have a credit check. So just make sure that, your credit history is favorable, right? Or if you've got any, mishaps in your credit, that you can fully explain them, or that if you've got any collections or charge offs on your credit report, that they're paid for, like paid in full or settled. Okay. So you're going to need a DUNS number, Dun and Bradstreet. That's a way for them to create some business credit for you. Especially, they'll check that if you have been in business already and have business credit, they want to see how you've been able to manage that. 3 months of bank statements. This is one of the trickier ones that I always mention because so they're going to request 3 months of bank statements. The trick with that is they're looking for, of course, insufficient funds, fees, or late payments on any loans you have with the bank. But more importantly, they're looking for the process of how your money has moved. So if you have large amounts of money that's been moving, like maybe you've moved $10,000 from your savings to your checking or something like that, they're going to question those. So make sure that, one, you can speak to it, what it was for, what the use was, or just don't have them in that 3 month time frame that they're going to request it. So just make sure whenever you're going to the bank that 90 days before, all of your bank documents and statements look crystal clear. Of course, if you are in business already, they're going to ask for a profit and loss statement or a balance sheet. So you want to make sure that your bookkeeping is good to go. And typically that's just about a year's worth. So just make sure at least that's ready to go as well. Every lender is going to have their own application. So that's going to look completely different just depending on which lender you go with. As far as collateral, some will request collateral in exchange for lending you money. So it could, typically it's, a home and much, much larger loans, but some may waive that option of you having to pledge your collateral. If you don't have collateral, it is not a deterrent for them to lend money to you. So don't feel like, oh, I'm renting an apartment or I don't have any collateral to pledge. It's completely fine. Uh,
Okay.
I've got a few more things. Hold on.
Okay.
It's a lot because I feel like people, this is like the biggest step that makes them like not want to do this. But the other two things is just your tax return and have a resume. The tax return time frame is typically 3 years. So just make sure you have them at least filed. And if you've had to pay any money back, make sure you pay the money back to make sure your taxes are good to go. And then just a resume. And that's just really, they're looking for you to be able to demonstrate that you can manage people or manage your business. So
Oh, okay. So like on your resume, definitely some managerial experience or any experience in your industry,
yeah,
like that.
don't have experience in your industry, maybe you're just starting off, that's completely fine. They just want to make sure that you've had some kind of work history that can correlate somehow to some manager, capabilities in the dealership industry. So
Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, whew. So if you're not in business though, then what? Because you won't have profit and loss statement. You won't have 3 months bank statements on your business. So then what? Do you not qualify? Is this not the route?
no, it's definitely still the route. So if
Okay.
you're not in business already, that's completely fine. Of course, you won't have a P&L or a balance sheet. They're still going to request 3 months of personal bank statements. So just make sure your personal records are together. And then as far as not having a P&L, they're going to ask for like a pro forma, which is your projections. So it's basically you giving them a spreadsheet or projections for how you think your financials will look. So from like all your expenses to any revenue you predict for the next year to 5 years. And a lot of them expect for you to lose money the first 6 to 12 months. So even if you show negatives on your projections because you won't be making money maybe immediately, that's completely fine. They just want to make sure that you got a plan um, for what the business will look like generating money for the first year to the fifth year. So
Okay. All right. Okay. That's cool. Okay. So do you know anyone who did you fund your business with a microloan?
So I didn't fund my business with a microloan, but I did use an SBA loan, which was the exact same process. I just needed more money because I had to go through construction to do that. So same process, all the same documents. I feel like a microloan is going to be a lot easier to process and much quicker. For mine, it took about 3 to 4 months, right? Just trying to get approval from the SBA and all of that. But a microloan is much more efficient and much quicker. So but I did use a lender that's partnered with the SBA to get the loan.
Okay. All right. Hey, Carla. And you guys let me know if you have any questions about the microloans. Um, so I did have a question when you said SBA. So I know a lot of people did receive an SBA loan during the pandemic. Does that affect, okay, the qualifications? Okay.
Loans out, as you know, as long as they're for different uses, and that's completely fine. So if you were approved for, a disaster loan or a PPP loan, that's completely fine. You still qualify for a microloan.
All right. So do you know how long it takes to fund, like say in a perfect world, you have everything in, everything checks out,
Yeah,
then
say for a microloan, maybe anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks.
okay, that's reasonable.
I feel like that's especially in the business lending world. I feel like 2 to 6 weeks is like record time. So yeah, I think 2 to 6 weeks would be a good idea.
Okay, so would you recommend microloan, or is there another loan that you're like, I like microloans, but this other loan though?
Yeah, so I think it depends how much money you're needing. But I think if you're in that $50,000, sorry, $1,000 or less need, I think a microloan is ideal. One from efficiency, because a lot of, typically in business when we need money, we kind of need it like yesterday. So I think that's going to be the quickest way for you to get business funding outside of a business credit card. And then also, it's just more favorable for lenders to work with you because they've got a level of insurance with the SBA should you default on the loan. So I think it's just more favorable for small business owners to pursue a microloan if they're looking in that price range.
Okay, you mentioned business credit card, and then immediately I thought about a question that I got recently about funding a business with a business credit card. So I know it's not microloan. So do you have any experience you can share with funding a business through a business credit card?
Yeah, so I think it's a good idea depending on what you're using it for. So if it's working capital or for inventory, just depending on the industry you're in, it's a good option. I think the limitations on the dollar amount might be a deterrent, right? So if you can only get a line of credit with a credit card for $5,000 or $10,000, and you may need more than that just with your normal expenses monthly. But I think it's a good option to have. I mean, there's definitely perks to having it. It's just a different avenue of getting capital. So there's nothing wrong with having both a microloan and also having a credit card for that use as well. So
Okay, interesting. So let me ask you this question because I know a lot of people are like allergic to paperwork, right? And you started talking about, profit and loss statement, balance sheet, tax returns, bank statements, and it's like more paperwork. So, did you have someone help you pull your paperwork together?
no, because I was starting from scratch. Like I didn't have anyone to show me how to do this, so everything was from scratch. So I've created a P&L like plug and play for me to do monthly. I mean, I even have like a business plan that's plug and play. That of course I sell in my online course, but but no, I started from scratch. I didn't have any of these, and I didn't know I needed these until I went to the lender, right? So I was already behind the eight ball, which delayed the process. And a lot of these tools, you've got to kind of build from scratch unless you know how to get a template or something like that. So it can be a little bit of a deterrent, but it's required, and I think if you're really trying to invest in your business, figure it out. So
Yes, it is required. And I think that's one of my platforms is that I encourage the CEOs I work with to get their paperwork together, like get their ducks in a row. Yeah,
bookkeeping,
like
yeah, it's super important because you might be in a good spot right now and want to invest and maybe buy another dealership or whatever 6 months down the road. The first thing they're going to ask you is, hey, let me see your financials. And it's going to be that profit and loss statement, and it's going to be that balance sheet. So if you're doing it monthly, which is what I do with my bookkeeper, is do it monthly, then it's easy for you to kind of smooth through the process. But it's a small business owner's nightmare, but it's a part of doing business, so it's important.
it is. It's important. It's a part of doing business. Definitely. Let's see. Joe says quicken, quicken, quicken. What do you mean, Joe? Do you mean quicken helps you to get your documents together, or share what you mean? And are there any other questions about microloans while we have Melinda with us? While we're waiting for the questions to roll through, I'm trying to check the time. I don't, all my devices are, I just want to, okay. I just want to make sure within a,
I'll send you, and you can send to your group. I've got a list of like the top 25 micro lenders like that the SBA works with, and they'll show you all the money that they've funded for businesses. That way, if you just want a list of people to contact for a microloan, they're on there, and they do this all the time. So I'll send that to you, and you can send it to the group. But it's a good resource to start from if you're looking for a microloan.
okay, awesome. Yes, please send that to me. Eric, the requirements, we went through the requirements, but I will post them in the description for you. Okay. While the last question I have while I'm waiting on questions to come in is you talked about having your credit together. So, do you have a cure for that?
Love that. Love it. Have a cure for that. So I do own a credit repair company. So typically with the SBA, they're looking for about a 680 or higher credit score. So if you're anything lower than that, it can be a little bit hard for you to get any kind of financing. Definitely in the business realm. So I own a credit repair company, and of course, we can help you fix those, issues on your credit report. But more importantly, really teach you about credit education from a business standpoint and also personal. A lot of business credit takes your personal credit on the front end to build it until you can completely rely on getting financing through your business. So working on your personal credit is huge, and we can definitely help with that. So I own a company called Credibility Cure. Of course, I'll share it with Chanel. She can share it with you guys. But it definitely, the people on my team are credit experts and very well versed in how to fix credit and also how to educate you guys on managing it better in the future. So, yeah.
All right. So just tell us a little bit about Credibility Cure and like what the process is working with you to get your credit score up to 680 or above.
Yeah, so super easy. Everything is online. You can, go to our website. It'll explain the process and what we do. But initially, you'll go online, you'll sign up, and you'll pick the plan that you're going to choose for, what you need for your credit. It'll automatically send you a link to a Zoom or a phone call with us. That way, we can fully explain the process and program to you, really to make sure it's a good fit. We don't want you to spend your money on something that is not ideal for you. A lot of people come to us when they're either looking to start a business or buy a home. So they're making those big purchases or investments. So we'll set up the phone call, whatever your schedule allows, and then we'll hop on that phone call, fully explain it to you, and then we'll get started. We'll send out challenge letters within, 48 hours to the credit bureaus to kind of dispute those inaccuracies and things that are unverifiable that are on your credit. And just for the record, people don't know this, but about 80% of all credit reports have inaccuracy. So it's highly likely that things are being reported on your credit report inaccurate, and it's up to the credit bureaus, as credit laws abide by, in order for them to get that corrected. So that's what we do to get that fixed, and ideally it boosts your credit score and you can get financing. So that's what we do.
All right. Well, sounds simple enough. Let's see. Joe says Quicken has made my record keeping so simple. I have all those documents needed to apply for a microloan at my fingertips. Yes, I
Yes,
do promote the heck out of Quicken.
yes. Option, QuickBooks Online, all of those, whatever you want to utilize, just make sure you're using something. Yep, totally.
Yeah. Okay. So did I not ask like a really important question? Am I missing something or is that
Cover what it is, what you need, and how to, where to apply. So I'll send you the list of top 25 places to apply for a microloan, and I think we're good to go.
all right, y'all. So if you have any more questions, just put them in the comments. And then if I don't have the answer from what I've learned today from Melinda, then I will get the answer for you. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you sharing with the auto dealers on how they can get some money to get started, because I know a lot of them are like, needing some funding, right?
No, I'm with you. I'm glad to be here. If you guys have questions, absolutely reach out.
All right. Well, have a great day and I'll talk to you soon.
No.
All right, bye. And CEOs, I did want to say a couple of things. So I do have a workshop coming up. It is the How to Build Your Dream Dealership workshop. It is coming up next week. So I'm going to put the link in there for you to register. Okay. I keep getting requests for this workshop. So I am doing it again. And I think it's been very helpful. That's why I keep getting requests for people who, miss it and or catch like part of it. So register for that. I am also starting a new channel called Cars 101 for Women. I get a lot of emails from people who are in car issues, car situations. And I'm like, well, I'm an auto dealer, but I can't really help you on, auto dealer business school side. So I created Cars 101 for Women to help the women who come to me about their car issues. Okay, so I'm going to put the link there. If you're one of those who have hit me up about car issues or a car you bought, then definitely find me on Cars 101 for Women. Most of my customers who buy my cars are women, and I would like to empower them to know that they're how to know that they're getting a good car, which is exactly why I started teaching the auto dealers first how to make sure you are picking a good car for your customers, because pretty soon the customers are going to be knowledgeable enough to know if they got a good deal or not. And you want to be one of those auto dealers who are really solid and confident in the fact that you have some awesome cars to sell, even though they are used and they may have some issues. You know what issues they have, and you can communicate that to your customers. So definitely check out Cars 101 in the link. And Auto Dealer Basics is open for you to learn the basics of the business so that you can put your business on cruise control. So I will also put a link there for a strategy session so that you can find out what Auto Dealer Basics is about, and is it, something that you need. So let's see, Joe, what is her business info to reach out? I will put that in the description as well. SBA is a headache. SBA actually did come through, this summer. They made it a lot easier. I'm not sure if their if their process is still easy, but SBA has traditionally been a headache though, Eric. You are right. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. If it wasn't helpful, put in the description what you wish you would have learned. I know that microloan has some requirements, but this is part of being in business, is to make sure that you can satisfy these requirements. Like, these are basic business documents. And if you need help with your basic business documents, then you definitely need to hook up with a mentor. So I will see you next week. Hopefully I'll talk to you in the strategy session. Be blessed and talk to you soon. Bye.